Imagine an ER waiting room with your favorite blanket and pillow, your cat's pixel and widget, and your mom's chicken soup. At Dignity Health, we know the only thing worse than being in pain is being stuck in an ER waiting room. So we offer In Quicker. You get an estimated ER arrival time online so you can start your wait at home. It's just another way of putting leading-edge medicine within easy reach. Learn more at strosehospitals.org/ER. Dignity Health, including St. Rose Dominicans, Rose de Lima, San Martin, and Siena campuses in Henderson and Las Vegas. Hello, human kindness.
Nevadans are battle-born, but lately we've been tested like never before. So when COVID came to Nevada, Senator Cortez Masto went to work. She got loans for small businesses that saved 500,000 Nevada jobs and worked with President Biden to provide stimulus checks and tax cuts. Senator Cortez Masto got new funding to keep Nevada's first responders on the job, too. Call Senator Cortez Masto at 202-224-3542 and tell her to keep delivering relief for Nevada. Paid for by Majority Forward.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobbycapucci, and this is a bonus episode. Well, folks, looks like we have another person stepping down from the Apollo Global Board. Now, there's no news out there or information out there that says this person was, hanging out with Epstein or involved in any way. But when you have a big name like this, who has also ran into their own problems before at a massage parlor, well, questions have to be asked, no? The person we're going to talk about tonight is none other than Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots. I'm sure you've heard of Robert Kraft, even if you're not a football fan, considering all of the success that the New England Patriots have had under his leadership. More recently, you might know him from his time in the news about going to, quote-unquote, massage parlors. Now, just another typical scuzz elite, it would seem, right? But again, that doesn't mean he had anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein here. But him and Leon Black were pretty close friends. So it's inevitable in this story, especially, that there's always some smoke, and it inevitably leads to some fire here. So we're going to have to see how this all plays out and what they say the reasoning is behind this, because this is all relatively fresh news, broke, roughly 4 or 5 hours ago in the New York Post. So it's still a story that's getting its legs underneath it, but it's a bad look for Apollo and, of course, for Robert Kraft as well, because now questions have to be asked, right? What are you stepping down for, Robert Kraft? What's going on here? So it could be maybe he is doing it in protest of Leon Black's behavior to try and virtue signal. That's quite possible. I don't put anything by these so-called elites trying to, refurbish their image or keep the facade going, right? So we have an article from the New York Post. And the headline is, Robert Kraft resigns from Apollo board amid Epstein controversy. This article was authored by Josh Kosman. New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft has left the board of Apollo Global Management, the private equity giant that lately has been grappling with controversy over a co-founder's ties to Jeffrey Epstein. A co-founder, huh? That's what we're calling Leon Black, a co-founder? I think it's a little bit more than a co-founder, okay? Leon Black was synonymous with Apollo Global. None of the other board members, Rowan or Smith, were synonymous with Apollo Global the way Leon Black was. So to call him a co-founder is kind of not really painting the picture correctly, considering the guy was Apollo Global, let's be real. And now having Robert Kraft dragged into this whole mix, it is just another question that has to be asked, right? What the hell's Robert Kraft have to do with any of this? And if he wasn't caught up in the situation he was caught up in previously with the whole massage parlor thing, I'd probably just think that this is one of those situations where Robert Kraft is stepping down because he's disgusted by what's going on, right? I'd want to give somebody the benefit of the doubt. But considering what we know about this guy and the massage parlor situation, he seems to be just as scuzzy, right? So if that's the case, and he says he's stepping down because the situation disturbs him or whatever it is, that is a classic virtue signal, considering that he was caught up in his own situation where he was supposedly visiting and getting sexual favors from girls inside of one of those little, rub and tug type of joints. And you want to talk about people getting stuck in human trafficking and stuff like that. Well, the girls that come over here from Asia who get brought here by like the triad, they have to work off those debts, and they find themselves in places like that where Robert Kraft allegedly was frequenting. So please, miss me with the virtue signal bus if that's the case. If that's what he's doing, then wow. Talk about being absolutely tone deaf. Kraft, who had joined Apollo's board in 2014, quietly stepped down as a director last week, according to a Friday securities filing. The filing didn't elaborate on the reason for Kraft's resignation, but a source close to the situation said Kraft's exit was his idea and that he wasn't pressured to leave. Oh yeah, sure, that's what they always say, right? Oh no, he wasn't pressured to leave. This was Bob's decision on his own. He decided that he was no longer a fit on the board, and he's going to go and spend time with his family. Sure, it's going to be some nonsensical BS like that. We all know that's not the guy Robert Kraft is, right? He's not going to spend time with his family. He's interested in building championship football teams up in Foxborough. That's what him and Bill Belichick are up to. And furthermore, shouldn't the owners be held to the same level as the players? If this was a player caught up in the Jeffrey Epstein controversy, they'd be suspended already, probably. But Robert Kraft, he avoids all sorts of justice or even answering questions. The NFL should open an inquiry. They love doing that, right? Let's see an inquiry here. Sources said Kraft was a friend of billionaire Leon Black, who made a surprise announcement last month that he was stepping down immediately as chairman and chief executive of the buyout firm. According to press reports, Black attended Kraft's surprise 75th birthday party in 2016, where rocker John Bon Jovi performed. Must be nice, huh? Guess you guys were living on a prayer. I mean, really? Imagine having the obscene amount of money that these people have. Yeah, it's my birthday. I figure I'm going to have, John Bon Jovi come over and rock. Maybe we'll get the Rolling Stones to come over. I have so much money. I'm going to have them clone Jim Morrison, and we're going to have the Doors here. I mean, I don't put it past these people at this point. And Robert Kraft is most assuredly part of the elite. So, I don't know what's going on here, why he stepped down. It could be something as simple as his BFF, Leon Black's leaving, so he's leaving as well. I don't know, maybe that's the case. Or, maybe there's more here. Maybe Robert Kraft was connected to Leon Black a little bit more deeply than we know. Who knows? I'll tell you what, though, the story is certainly gonna make its way out and do its thing now that it's out of the box. That is for sure. Because one thing I will say, when it comes to these sort of hedgies, these guys like Leon Black, the legacy media is usually interested in digging in, right? These aren't the legacy media's favorite kind of people either, for the most part. So I think and suspect we'll see a little bit more coming out of this, and I wouldn't be shocked if we get some more leaks out of the Apollo boardroom and from insiders who have their ear to the street, because they've been spot on the whole way here with the Apollo boardroom and the fracturing in there, the infighting, and the eventual departure of Leon Black. They've been spot on with all of that. According to a source close to the situation, Kraft on January 26 told Apollo's board he was planning to step down from the company by June 1st, his 80th birthday. That was a day after Black had announced he would step down as Apollo CEO on or by July 31st, his 70th birthday. So it's just all coincidence, huh? Leon Black, Robert Kraft stepping down right around the same time. What the hell's going on here, folks? What is going on? And again, just to be clear, let me reiterate. I am not asserting or saying that Robert Kraft was involved with Jeffrey Epstein at all. I have not seen any of that evidence. Hell, is anything possible with this case? Yup. But until I see that evidence, well, you know how I feel about following the evidence. So what I think is very, very interesting here is the fact that Leon Black and Robert Kraft were so close. And now that these sexual assault allegations, sexual harassment allegations have come down and blasted on Black, you have Robert Kraft getting out of Dodge. Is this some sort of self-preservation move? So, hey, look, I don't want this spotlight on me. I got enough problems down at the rub and tug shop. This is the last thing I need, so I'm out of here. Possible, right? Very possible. It wasn't immediately clear why Kraft last week decided to step down earlier than planned. In January, the board asked Kraft to stay on while Apollo completed the company's transition, the source said. Look, there's a lot of infighting going on inside of that boardroom, and I'm guessing that had something to do with it. I told you that Smith wasn't done yet, right? He feels like he has been maligned almost, considering he was passed up by Rowan for the CEO spot. You know, he's another ultra alpha type of cat, right? Owns sports teams, owns big business, big time hedgy. He doesn't want to look like he's the one getting the crap end of the bag. He wants to be the guy on top. He wants to be the man with the chest puffed out and the double cornered office. But nah, he was left out in the dark. And Rowan was put in that position. And there has been a tug of war going on in that boardroom and within the shareholder division since then. There is an absolute battle going on, folks. We're talking Game of Thrones-esque battle going on. And Kraft leaving might be part of that whole entire back and forth that's occurring at Apollo. Kraft declined to comment through a spokesperson on Monday. An Apollo spokesperson wasn't immediately able to comment. So I wonder, what's that about, too? You're a big-time public figure, bruh. You need to answer these questions. Why are you leaving this board? What would predicate you leaving this board when just in January you were supposed to help through the transition? What is going on here, Mr. Bob Kraft? On April 6, 2021, Robert Kraft, a member of the board of directors of Apollo Global Management, informed the company of his decision to resign as a member of the board effective immediately, Apollo revealed in the filing. Effective immediately. No heads up, none of that stuff. Just a quick, hey, look, I'm out, folks. Peace. Does that sound right to you guys? Does that sound like the way things usually happen with these people? I'm sure that there's some sort of compensation that gets left on the table if you just bounce out, right? You know these people, they're getting compensated for every single millisecond of their time. Believe that. There ain't no freebies in this world. Everything's for a favor with these people. So what in the hell happened in that boardroom? And what really led to Robert Kraft leaving? And did he leave of his own accord? Or was he forced out? Considering you have the situation with Black where basically he was Caesar and it was et tu Brute situation where everyone turned on him and it was a wrap. So he could be part of this fallout because he's one of Leon's guys. That's very possible too. As exclusively reported by the Post last week, Black's unexpected exit on March 22nd came just days after several directors on the private equity's Giants board learned of accusations of sexual harassment against him by a woman he claimed was trying to shake him down over a consensual affair. Here's an idea, dumbass. Quit stepping out on your wife. Consensual, not consensual, whatever it may be. What are you doing, bro? You have all the money in the world. Go and enjoy it with your wife. Take her on some trips. Buy her a couple of things. She's sick, right? That's what you said. Enjoy the time you have with her. Instead of, gallivanting around and philandering with women while your wife's home sick, waiting around for you. Just an absolute piece of shit, man. And guys like this, I have no tolerance for them. Especially dudes like this. All the money in the world. All of the money in the whole damn world. And this is what you do? It's that important? Your carnal desires are that important? It's just unbelievable the way some of these people are wired. Black, who Apollo earlier this year revealed had paid millions to dead pedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein for tax advice and estate planning services, following the latter's 2008 convictions for procuring an underage girl for prostitution, cited his wife's ailing health and his own health problems for the sudden change in plans. So it all makes sense now, right? The Epstein stuff was hanging over his head. That was coming. But then you had the allegations by Miss Ganieva, and, well, what do you expect this guy to do? There's no way out for him. No wiggling off this hook. And even if Leon Black doesn't face criminal penalties in the Jeffrey Epstein case, perhaps he's going to in this other case. What, it's off the table? If he sexually assaulted this girl and she went to the authorities and they believe a case should be open, well, Leon Black gets up every morning like me and you, folks. Puts his pants on the same way, or his servant puts them on for him. Either way, both legs go through those pant slits. So if he is guilty of what he's being charged with, if he really did do this to this young lady, this man needs to pay the price. Neither Black nor Apollo mentioned at the time that days leading up to the resignation, at least 4 of Apollo's 12 board members had become aware of a series of little-noticed but explosive tweets by Güzel Ganieva, a former model who claimed to have been forced to sign an NDA in 2015 relating to allegations that Black sexually harassed and abused her, according to sources close to the situation. Now, if it was just sexual harassment, I guess that's one of those gray area things, right? While it's not acceptable, if you're Leon Black, you could say, look, that never happened, or it wasn't what I meant it to be, whatever. You still come off looking like a scumbag, but not as an abuser, at least. Not a physical abuser, I should say. Well, not only is it that for him, he's also accused of sexually abusing this young lady. So, Leon Black, you got some answering to do, my friend. It wasn't immediately clear whether Kraft was among the directors who had learned of the tweets, the sources said. In a statement to the Post, Black acknowledged that he knew Ganieva, but denied that he acted inappropriately toward her. He also denied that her allegations influenced his decision to step away from the company faster than planned. In January, Black had signaled he would stay on as chairman after stepping down as CEO on or by July 31st. Dude, this guy is an absolute liar. You know, the Pinocchio commercial that used to be on TV? You have potential, and you have potential, and his nose keeps growing and growing and growing. That's Leon Black every time this dude opens his mouth. Everything that he has said about his relationship with Epstein and what came after has been proven to be an absolute lie. And add on top of that, he has his own charges of being a sexual deviant criminal. So please, Leon Black, spare us. Nobody believes you. Nobody has any compassion for you. Nobody has any sympathy for your philandering ass. You better answer some questions, my dude, and I hope you lawyer up. Because if these allegations are true, and what this young lady is saying happened, you're in big trouble, my friend. The 79-year-old Kraft, meanwhile, became entangled in a sex scandal of his own in 2019 when Florida police say he had been caught on tape visiting a seedy South Florida massage parlor. Oh, well, that's what normal people do, right? Married men going down to seedy massage parlors. The richest men in the world. This is what they think of these people. Just let's go and exploit these girls that are, obviously over here. They don't speak English. None of that stuff. All of the telltale signs of trafficking victims in a lot of instances. But no big deal. Let me go down to this seedy rub and tug spot. Their brains don't work, folks. They're different. These people, these so-called elite, they're different. The way they're wired, the way they function, the way they look at the world. Different kind of people. And I'm hard-pressed to even consider them human at this point. Charges against Kraft were dropped in September after the recording of him entering a massage parlor was ruled inadmissible as evidence in the Florida case. Oh, shocking. It was in Florida, remember? And it was inadmissible. I wonder why. Because it was Robert Kraft? If it was your cousin John or your friend Mike or insert normal person here, pretty sure the case would not have been dropped. They would have went to the nines all the way to the very end to prosecute whoever it was. But the tape's inadmissible in this case. No, Robert Kraft, we see you for what you are, bro. Another sick bastard. Another guy that proclaims he's this great guy and this, that, and the other thing, while in reality, you're just another sick, disgusting pervert. Which would be fine, right, if you were doing it at a place of repute. You have all the money in the world. Go to a place where prostitution is legalized. Where the girls, for the most part, are, they're there as people who are choosing to be there of their own, their own will, as opposed to trafficking victims. I mean, if you need to do that kind of thing, get a professional sex worker who is doing in the business because that's what they want to do, or a porn star. You have all the money in the world. I'm sure those porn stars will gladly come over for a couple $100,000. I guess my point is, there's other ways to go about this. If you're, a bazillionaire like this guy and you're not a sick bastard. But he's obviously a sick dude. And what do you think, it was the first time he went to the rub and tug? Yeah, it's my first time here, guys. Just happened to get caught. Okay, sure. Following Mr. Kraft's resignation, the size of the board shall decrease to 12 directors, 2/3 of which continue to be independent directors, Apollo said in the public filing on Friday. When Kraft joined the Apollo board 7 years ago, Black hailed him as a seasoned executive and an exceptional leader, saying that Apollo will benefit greatly from his insights and expertise. So this wasn't just like a nominal position, right? Some window dressing. This guy, Robert Kraft, was part of the board. Big-time decision maker at Apollo Global. Now the question is, and the question that I certainly have, what in the hell made him resign so abruptly? Now, I guess that's the question we all have, and we'll see where it goes. We'll stay on top of it, and we will certainly update this article when we get some information that leads us in one direction or the other. But it's very, very interesting, folks, that Robert Kraft would step down from the board right on the heels of the announcement of Leon Black and the whole entire news situation that he is facing. If you'd like to contact me, you can do that at bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI@protonmail.com. You can also find me on Twitter at BOBBY_CAPUCCI. All of the links that go with this episode can be found in the description box. All right, folks, I'll be back later, and we'll pick up where we left off.
Imagine an ER waiting room with your favorite blanket and pillow, your cat's Pixel and Widget, and your mom's chicken soup. At Dignity Health, we know the only thing worse than being in pain is being stuck in an ER waiting room. So we offer In Quicker. You get an estimated ER arrival time online so you can start your wait at home. It's just another way of putting leading-edge medicine within easy reach. Learn more at strosehospitals.org/ER. Dignity Health, including St. Rose Dominicans, Rose de Lima, San Martin, and Siena campuses in Henderson and Las Vegas. Hello, human kindness.
Nevadans are battle-born, but lately we've been tested like never before. So when COVID came to Nevada, Senator Cortez Masto went to work. She got loans for small businesses that saved 500,000 Nevada jobs and worked with President Biden to provide stimulus checks and tax cuts. Senator Cortez Masto got new funding to keep Nevada's first responders on the job, too. Call Senator Cortez Masto at 202-224-3542 and tell her to keep delivering relief for Nevada. Paid for by Majority Forward.